Watch that. Get it. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yucky. It's disgusting. Ah!
Yikes.
I know, right? You're the stuff of nightmares! But yeah, so... Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm okay. Ugh. I just
Don't
need...
no one else help me.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's try this spinning attack. Stop walking away!
That's working.
There we go. So yeah, and I mean, look how, like, I'm just, like, deleting her health. It's like, oh, you wanted to play the game? I don't want you to play the game. How about that? So yeah, it's like, so when you're looking, like, if you're looking at it like that, we know how the landscape works, where you can only be what you are, right? And there's room for, like I'm saying, it's possible. It's definitely possible for Utah to get accepted into, like, the Big Ten. That's not, like, out of completely the realms of possibilities.
Right.
But it's
where
so
did
unlikely.
USC go?
That's where they went, the Big Ten. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is like, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I feel like you take the guarantee, which is, and the guarantee is to be in the Big 12 making $30 million, which is more than you've ever made so far in your so it's like you're still on the up as far as, like, overall, like, the history of your program. Right. So you're still sitting pretty. You're still in the Big Time Conference. There's still Oklahoma State and Kansas State. TCU went to the national championship. Like, you get back with TCU, which is kind of fun and cool. You know, we had kind of a little fun rivalry thing going on with them. So there's, in my opinion, there's a lot of reasons to do this.
And BYU is in the Big Ten.
Yeah, and then on top of all of it, you're back with your rival in BYU. And that's a good, you know, I'm coming around. Well, I'll put it this way. I've been praying to Heavenly Father to help me with the feelings I have about BYU. And the reason why is because I'm so sick of living a lifestyle of any kind of hate. It annoys me. It's like, I don't like Saturday coming and wanting to enjoy this thing that I love. I love the Utes. It is my sport thing that I do. I love it more than any other thing that I do in sports.
Yeah.
Anything. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I kind of get sick of, like, having these feelings of, like, well, I like the Utes, so I have to hate BYU. And if the Utes lose and BYU wins, then it ruins my whole week. And I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Yeah. It's like, no, just root for both of them. I met Kalani Sitake in church, and he gave me a big old hug. Like, he's a good guy. Like, he you know, the fans can be dumb, because fans are always dumb.
Right.
So it's just like, it's just not worth the hassle. It's not worth the headache. It's just not. And so it's just like, I've come to this conclusion, and honestly, I've asked Heavenly Father to help me with it so that I feel better about just that kind of stuff in general. And I feel like He's answered my prayers, and I've come a long way into not hating other people. Because it's so funny, because it's like, I don't hate the Yankees.
Right.
I don't. I'll watch the Yankees. I don't hate the Lakers. Yeah. Like, I just want to watch good stuff. The reason that I hate BYU is because it's like, if I lived around there, maybe it'd be different. But it's like, it's just nonsense, man. Like, I care so much about this thing that I don't have any effect on, that doesn't actually bring me, like, when you do it that way, it doesn't even bring you happiness when they win, because you're just like so anxious about, well, they won this time, but then next week if they lose, and you're just like,
Yeah.
It's stupid, and I hate it.
Just
And it's just like, I just want to get over this. Like, it's the one thing in my life that causes me, like, no other aspect of my life do I allow things that are under none of my control to affect me this way.
yeah.
And it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
So I grew up a Suns fan.
Right.
A Phoenix Suns fan. And I hated the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah. I'm a Jazz guy. I hate the Spurs, too. I get it.
Like, with a deep passion.
Right.
And after, after a while, I'm like, Tim Duncan was epic. He was so good.
Super good.
And it was just like, but I hated
He's probably a top.
He might be
a top 10 player all time.
Uh-huh.
Like all time top 10.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
I mean, it's
at least
it's
top
incredible.
20. At least top 20.
Yeah. And Tim Duncan belongs in top 10, like easy.
Yeah, and he doesn't seem like a bad guy either. Like,
yeah. But I still remember the feelings I had after when Robert Horry hip-checked Steve Nash into the stands.
For sure.
I still remember where I was standing there, and I about cried because I hated the Spurs.
Yep.
And what he did was so epically just, in my mind, was so evil.
Right. Right. You actually think that, like, because, like, the player who did it, it's like, that's why it's like, it's hard for us. It's Michael Jordan and the push on Brian Russell. It's like, you think that it's like against you.
Right.
Like, and that, so Argentina, when Argentina won the World Cup, I bawled like a baby. Like, that's where I started my mission. I taught those people the gospel of Jesus Christ. I became a man in Argentina. Like, learned their language. I might as well be part Argentine, right? Sure. I had a provisional citizenship there. Like, I'm a part of that country. 2 years of my life dedicated to them, serving those people.
Yeah.
Similar to, Ammon and the Lamanites, right? Same kind of idea. Obviously they're not evil. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But that's like the work I was doing, right? So it's like, it was so, like, I've never felt anything like that sporting event ever in my life. Right. And like, I've seen Argentina lose in the finals. I've seen them lose in other rounds, and like when they won, it was like a release that I cannot describe. And it's like, those moments are so great and epic. And like, I bought a new Argentina jersey that has the 3 stars on it now for the 3 World Cups they've won. Like, just awesome. Yeah. So great. And that is what sports can be, so wonderful and great, and we can feel this connection. But I've also done it the opposite way too, where it's like it's made you just like sick, and then you like you treat people worse, and like I've been in Twitter fights, and like it's just like, and growing up in the church, like you know this too, it's like you get ridiculed, and that's where a lot of the hate comes from, because it's like hateful people in the church who are BYU fans that treat you badly, and it's like, but the thing is like, we need to overcome that. Like, and that's literally what the Savior is teaching us. Like, you need to overcome these things that really don't matter, and honestly be happy for, because like when Argentina loses, like I don't hate the team that beat them, and I'm happy for them, for teams that win. I think that's great. Such a wonderful expression of like hard work and dedication. But like we just that's just it. Like we have to get over it. We have to get over it. We have to get over this
Yeah, because so that's one thing Brianna has taught me. She's like, just root for a good game.
Right.
That's it. Because if it's a good game and a good sport and fun to watch, at the end of the day, that's all you're hoping for, is have a good time watching.
Well, and I definitely want the Utes to destroy everybody, so I don't even necessarily want a good game, but I get what you're saying. It's like we got to get over if like they lose, because the last time they played, they lost to BYU, but they had won 9 in a row.
Right.
It's like, and that's nothing like there's nothing to hang your head about. Like,
yeah.
And honestly, BYU going to the Big 12 only helps the state of Utah.
Right.
Like, honestly, we hope that Utah State one day can elevate themselves to that level.
Sure.
Because if they can, then it just continues helping the state. Mm-hmm. That's all it does. It makes us, it just makes the state better.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and the funny thing is, it's like, because I want my kids to go to BYU. Like, when they grow up, if they want to go to college, I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of colleges where they can, have the values that I'm teaching them. And so it's like, BYU is a good, like, BYU, TCU, Grand Canyon, Notre Dame. Like, those are the schools I want them to go to. And I would really like for them to still be in the same state that I'm in, so I can help them out and still see them.
See, 10 years ago, I would have not believed that you would have said that.
Yeah. You, knowing me, you know me more, like, you know me better than anyone else that comes through here and does this podcast, especially. It's like, you never would have heard me say that.
No.
Ever.
Nope.
And it's like, that's what I mean, is like, I've literally prayed to God to change me, to like help me overcome this nonsense that that's been a detriment to my life.
That you just
it hasn't helped me in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
This
that
hate.
You get so emotional.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like either hate or love, or you just want to be so in charge and be able to be able to hold on to the control you have in a sports game. But
and we have none.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
I mean, I at least, as a coach at Hunter, I can at least coach them. But even then, I don't even have, because I'm not playing in the game.
Right.
So it's like,
and
it's honestly more important with the work I'm doing with those kids at Hunter. So I'm coaching baseball and girls soccer. Mm-hmm. That's more valuable and fulfilling in a sport aspect than like me pretending that I have really any like major thing that I'm doing with like the Utes.
Right.
And like, and I would love to be a part of it, but that's not going to happen. Like, I don't have the acumen. I'm not working towards it. There's no like path for that really. So it's like, I'm, and that's fine.
Right.
I can love and root for the Utes, but it's like, I just got to get that hate out. And like when people, and the thing is, what's hard is like, if people try to drag you into the hate of the other team, you got to reject it. You got to be like, you know what? I don't like hating you. Uh-huh. Like, I don't like hating them, that jersey. Mm. Like, I don't, it's like, you can see this little plaque, right? And it says, Max hates Mike and all these other Ute fans. So that, that's because of the thing he said about, hating Utah. But the thing is like, he went through a terrible thing in his life. And I remember thinking, like, when I read the story that he was struggling the way he was, my first thought was, I hope his family's okay. I hope that he's not, that he can get the help he needs. And honestly, what was disappointing is seeing BYU fans dog on him until the church had to come out and say, you guys need to stop.
Right. And
the thing is like, I want to be a part of that side where it's like, okay, BYU fans, you're taking it too far. Like, you need to leave Jimmer alone. You need to not get on Max Hall's back. You need to have, like, you are supposed to represent Christ's church. Mm. Like, so let's all of us start acting like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So So, my cousin played for BYU.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And incredible football player.
Right.
Just like...
He's on the Ravens?
No, he's on the Chiefs.
That's right.
He was on the practice squad. He nearly made the team last year, the 51 squad. And he broke his collarbone in one of the greatest preseason games. He made like 3 touchdowns in this preseason game. And then after the game, he apparently broke his collarbone. And
didn't even know it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So the poor guy. And anyway, in his senior year, he decided to go back to BYU. He was one of the best players in college football his junior year. Anyway, right. So he played for BYU. And in my entire family, extended family, I am like the only U of U fan.
Right.
And this was even before he played for BYU. I was the only one, because I know that Utah did try to recruit him.
Right.
And I was like, dude, you gotta try Utah.
Right.
And I was the only one that said it. And
right.
It was like public on Facebook. Anyway, right. So he didn't listen to me, which is fine.
Right.
I'm not as good at football as he is. And but man, have I been, I wouldn't say attacked, just like not welcome, my opinion.
Oh, sure.
On college football,
For sure.
And any college, yeah. So and it's like my grandma, it goes from my grandma to my parents to everything is all BYU.
Right. Well, and I've met a lot of your family, and they're like, yeah, they've all, I know where their allegiances lie.
Yeah, so I got in one spat with his mom.
Oh, yeah.
With my cousin's mom.
That's crazy.
And that was like the day I was like, okay, I'm done with Facebook. And like, I don't go on Facebook anymore. Right. And I was like, that didn't feel good. It's never done me any good to fight over for sports. Because,
right. Well, the thing is it's just so like, because like going to BYU for people that are LDS is like, it's more, and this honestly is like kind of what bothered me too, is like it's more than just going to BYU. Yeah, like it's a whole like it's about like people think it's about like
it's almost
duty.
Like a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like
the pilgrimage to the Mecca or
yeah.
Something like that. It's so important to a lot of families.
Right.
And my mom was so mad at me for not even applying for BYU. She's like, even if you can't make it, just apply to BYU. And I'm like, no, they discriminate against white boys from Utah.
Right.
Like, they don't want that.
Right. Yeah,
like,
no, yeah, for sure. Like, they don't. Yeah. And so it's like
you can,
and so that's hard too, because it's like, well, why would I do this if I know there's no actual like, there's no reason to believe that I'll actually like have a chance.
Yeah, and I'm like, I am not 6'5" like my cousin.
Right, right. You don't have anything that's actually like bringing you, like they're not. Me too. It's like there's not like, what are they? They have nothing that I can offer them. Like I don't. So it's just like there's no reason for them to accept me.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
And so I was like, no, I'm gonna go to the U of U. And I went to LDS Business College, but
Yeah, so did I.
So
did I.
And after a while, I'm like, I'm just not gonna hate BYU. Just not gonna put my energy into them anymore because they don't deserve it. And I have more harsh feelings toward BYU than I like to admit.
Right. Well, and the thing is like, because I've had some conversations with, like, your dad, for example, and it's like, that's like, for me, that's where a lot of that stuff, like, stemmed, and it was like, he was the archetype of what I was talking about, of like, yeah, there's no hope for the way that you're speaking to me, about other people, for me to even consider coming here.
Right.
Like, you're like, he was the reason, like, the attitude that he was, him specifically, no, but he was his attitude was the reason why I wouldn't even, like, why would I? Like, there's no, if that's how people are going to be treated, or I'm going to be treated, there's no hope for me at that kind of a place.
Right.
But the thing is it's like, it's unfounded because it comes from someone who doesn't, like, people like that don't represent BYU. Like, your mom doesn't represent BYU.
Yeah.
And, like, the values are what are supposed to represent BYU. And like I've said, it's like, that's where I want my kids to go. Like, I want them to go to BYU.
Wow.
And it's like, and just as you have said, it's like, you never would have thought that I would ever say something like that. Ever.
Right. Which is totally fine. It just surprised me. But...
Right. And that's, and honestly, it's only come through because of my desire to, like, rid myself of bad stuff in my, in my thought process, the way I go about things. It's like, I just do not have a desire anymore to be a part of the nonsense that comes from these hateful feelings.
Right.
And I want them eradicated from myself. I don't want them anymore.
Yeah. See, I went to the Rose Bowl. I didn't go to the Rose Bowl. So I went and watched it with some friends and a friend group. And so I was invited to a party that I knew one person there, and the rest were, like, his friends.
Right.
And I have never felt, like, so insecure with my fandom of Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't feel like a fan of Utah. Yeah. Like, I wasn't even close to how these guys were passionate.
Right.
And when they lost, like, I was like, all right, good game. And all right, let's go home. Like, they put up a good fight. I'm going to go to work tomorrow. And they were pissed at me for not being more pissed.
Because Utah lost, and they were like, they wanted you to, like, suffer.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wanted me to feel worse.
Right. They wanted you to feel bad about, like, some like, something that it's almost like you did something to them.
Right.
Like, by being a Utah fan.
And I think I said something that was kind of dumb. Or like, something that really made them mad. I don't even remember what it was. But I was like, that was a really good game. That was epic and awesome. And, and I was like, and that's what people want to watch. Like, Utah put up a good game against, I don't even remember who it was against. Was it, like, Ohio?
Ohio State.
Someone big, And it was like...
So it wasn't even a Utah-BYU game.
No.
It was literally, you were watching Utah and Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, and they wanted you to, like, feel bad because Utah lost. Mm-hmm. And, like, you're just like, yeah, that was great. It would have been great if we'd won, but we didn't. So You just moved on. You're just like, yeah, like
right. I have work
in the morning. See you later, guys. And they were like, no, you must feel terrible.
Yeah,
it's like
you've got to be up all night. I'm like,
you got to be like thinking about this
stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I've been through that stage with basketball, and now I haven't seen a full NBA game in like 2 years.
I know.
It's just a terrible show now.
I know.
Like,
it's so dumb.
It's
not even. I know.
When Michael Jordan shot his last shot against the Jazz, not his last shot, obviously, but that shot against the Jazz, most important
shot that he probably ever took.
There was 28 million people watching that, and now they're lucky to get 2 million viewers on Christmas Day. You know.
Well, and that's what I mean. Is like I used to watch every Jazz game that I could.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch. I have MLB Network, the whatever it is, the MLB.com thing, whatever their paid thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I've done the time like where I set my schedule around sports, and like in the Utes I still do with Utah, but that's it. And it's like, but even then I kind of felt that same thing. That's what's kind of funny is like I didn't feel bad that Utah had lost, because they lost both Rose Bowls, and it's like, and there's different reasons that they did.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see them at full strength. It would have been nice to see them with their full team.
Mm-hmm.
Neither time did they have either of those things, and so it would have been great to see that. But that's the nature of the game,
right?
And that's fine, and
it's
not a big deal.
16
and it's
games,
like
someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, it's like whatever. It's fine. Nothing to really cry over. Not to mention because like bowl games now are like it's nothing. Like, and now with it being 12 teams, it's like Utah can get in without even winning their conference if they're ranked high enough. So it's like, what do we care?
Yeah.
Like, and that's honestly that's good. Like, that's good for college football.
Right.
That we're actually getting that we're getting over this stupidity, in my opinion, of how it used to be. We're getting away from that and going back to a much better way, in my opinion, of how to do the sport.
Right.
And so I'm super stoked about that. I'm really happy about that. I'm really looking forward to seeing that and being a part of that as a fan. And so now it's just like, none of that matters. Like, none of it. And it matters, and it definitely doesn't matter in the way that like people want to pigeonhole you into making you feel bad and think that it matters more than it does. It's like, and that's what I kind of started feeling like too. It's like, why do I want, like, because I have a lot of friends, like very good friends that are BYU fans, and it's like you just start thinking to yourself, why do I want them to be, miserable?
Ouch.
Ouch. All right. I'm going to go here. Nope. Wrong button. Here we go.
Travel.
So I'm looking.
Make it. Is he alive?
There he is.
He's doing good.
He's going off. He's off he goes.
He's nice.
So I'm looking for these, they're almost like paintings on the ground that they have these, what they call tiers, and they're a part of the story. So that's what I'm looking for right now. So that's why I'm like up in the air trying to like search. So like that's what this thing is. I've done one, but they're like main story things, I guess. So that's why I keep going to this album and looking at this picture. So like the tiles are where you would expect to see one of them. So then I have to go onto the ground, find the tier, and then it should start, some kind of cutscene. Sure. So I'm looking for that one that's like not the top-ist one on the left, but the one next to it that's like diagonal from it. Okay. That's what I'm looking for now.
The top.
So it's left. It's like right here somewhere. Well, it could be here, I guess. So that I'm thinking it's like right around here, but I have not seen it. And the mountains are kind of hard because it's not like flat ground. So I don't know how easy or hard it's going to be to like recognize it. And it doesn't, that doesn't exactly tell you exactly where it is.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's like the whole thing that we were doing with the fish.
No, it was